Welcome to Shade in the City.
I'm your girl, Treese.
It's Nels.
And today, y'all, we are here to get into 90 Day Fiancé. It is season 11, episode 6. Do not get me lying about the name of this episode.
How deep is your love?
Oh, how deep is your love?
You don't remember me singing it?
Tell me what it's gonna be. See yourself with a ninja like me on a low. Something totally, yeah. That's not how I go, but yeah, y'all. So welcome. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button
and that subscribe button.
And let's jump right into this episode. And yeah, y'all, let's get shady because we know it's late. You don't need to remind us. Okay. All right, y'all. So we jump into this episode. Nels, I'm gonna need you to do something while you're here. I need you to jump on the ones and the twos. I'm gonna need you to, earn your keep. Okay, you can't just be here on the clock not doing it. You done that for weeks before. So go and get the mouse.
I don't know why you acting like you don't know how I work.
The mouse is on.
We've been through this.
The mouse is on your side. So go ahead and pull up the Shekinah circle.
What you say? Oh, right here.
Mm-hmm. Hit the button. Look at her, y'all. Look at her. Look at God on this Easter weekend. So Shekinah said he's happy because Sophie has agreed to meet with him, and he admitted to Shekinah that he absolutely is nervous. He suggests that, let's take a blanket because he has planned this whale watching trip for them. So he wants to, he's like, oh, it might be cold or whatever. And he's like, look at me being a father figure. I thought, again, I'm really starting to like Sarper. And
we actually agreed that now that he's not such a butthole, he's even more physically attractive.
Well, and I also feel like he's not putting on as much anymore. Does that make sense? So they meet Sophie down at the boardwalk. She'll be having some fun at the boardwalk. Okay. And so Sarper comments on how pretty she is, which Shekinah's daughter is absolutely gorgeous. That's one thing I'm not going to take away from my girl. And she says, Sophie says that she does want to get to know Sarper in person and wants to see him treat her mother with respect. So Shekinah talks about how they went, we see them get on the front of the boat. The water splashed them. They said it was a big wave. I ain't see all that. But I imagine they got a little
They said they were soaked.
That's what they said. They got a little wet. And granted, it's Northern California.
Then they said they was cold.
I was going to say it's Northern California. So it probably was a little bit cold. And so obviously they go inside. So the blanket actually comes in handy that Sarper suggested. But what they didn't plan for was the sickness of it all. Okay. The seasickness, especially not Sarper, because we see him with his, bag as he's, doing what he needs to do. And he just feels bad. And so he tells Shekinah that don't let him organize. Anything else moves forward. And he said, Sophie, I hope that you can forget this. And she said, I'm not ever going to forget it. You barfing in the bag. That's never going to be forgotten. And they're just they look so thankful to be off this boat. And I don't think they saw one damn whale. Now,
they saw a seal.
They saw a seal. So I know he mad. He spent that money. So Sarper does apologize to her when they get back on dry land and, says just for how the activity went, how the day went. And she's like, oh, that's not to be blamed on you. Obviously, you can't control that. And so Sarper talks about his future with Shekinah, and he admits that, he was a different person when he met, I guess, Shia, which is, we know, Shekinah's sister, that he completely pissed off and was disrespectful to. And she wants to ensure that he makes amends, not only with her, but with the rest of the family as well. And, so Sarper is like, it is just so much. I was just trying to get her approval. Now I got to get the whole damn family's approval. He's like, my acting skills are not that good. I could put on for Shekinah. I could put on for these people on TV and these cameras. But now you want me to do this for this family? No.
I ain't got it to do.
I ain't got it to do. So yeah. So hopefully we he hopes that he can fix the way Shekinah's family feels about him. But I don't know. It's not looking good.
So can I just hit this one? Or do I get hit high for the other one?
No. Boom.
All right.
Look at that. Look at nails. Look at nails in training.
Listen, let me tell you something. This is not how I work. I'm trying to tell you.
No. She does whatever you ask her to do, she's gonna do that bare minimum. That's all. She ain't doing nothing extra. She ain't gonna try to get no awards. She ain't trying to be employee of the month. Nothing.
No. Not at all. So next up is Mark and Mina. So they hopped on a plane, his own little personal plane, and they're headed to West Palm Beach. And she said she feels like it's giving Italy vibes. So he's telling her that she's going to be introduced to his brother's ex-wife, Diana, who also introduced him to Jade. And she's like, that's really weird. Like, we're going to see the ex-wife. Okay. So Mina looks aggravated in the confessional because he's basically like reminiscing on how he met Jade and just that's exactly what he was doing. It was given he was reminiscing. And I love the fact that she was just like, yeah, keep going. Okay.
Tell me more.
So then they get into the store, they're getting acquainted with Diana, and she's like, well, did you get your BMW yet? And she's like, whoa, wait, what? So Mark is like, no, don't bring that up. Don't. And she was like, oh, well, I mean, he bought one for his daughter and then he bought one for Jade. You know what? Maybe you'll get an Aston Martin.
And for that, I would have said, I better.
Exactly. And basically, so then Mark leaves the store like a big old dummy. You would think since she brought that up and it had to do with Jade, he would have stuck around. But no.
But Mark is not smart.
Not at all. So yeah, while he was gone, Diana was giving her all the tea about how he moved fast with that girl. And really after a couple months, they moved in together in Florida. You know how he even have his house in Massachusetts? Where he live at?
Maine, that's New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Oh,
look, it's all the same.
Yeah, I was about to say it's up there.
New England. It's New England.
So he had his house up there, which I thought was funny because you was willing to get a place in Florida with her, all the way in Florida, but you don't want to get a place in the city in New Hampshire.
All over the world.
But she's not even asking him to move out the state. She's just saying get a place in the city. So yeah. So Mina is just sitting here soaking up all the tea. And apparently he called Diana when he met her in Paris and said that he found somebody that reminds him of Jade. So she said, she was concerned because she felt like Mina, was just Jade's substitute. Mina got upset because she said she asked him over and over and over again if he ever lived with Jade, and he told her no. So Mina told Diana that Mark said that, they broke up because she wouldn't move to New Hampshire. And she was like, I mean, that ain't why they broke up. That's what it did happen. It was upset about it, but that's not why they broke up. She said why they broke up is while this man was on the road or in the air, taking trips.
That's the worst. At least on the road, you got, but the air, that goes so quick. He be in there, out of there. He be in there, out of there.
Oh my goodness. He can cheat real quick.
Right.
So apparently when he took his phone, it was connected to his iPad, and she went through his iPad and saw he was in all these pictures with all these different girls and was essentially cheating on her.
Because he said, I can go to sleep in Paris and wake up in Tokyo.
Yeah, he absolutely can.
Have a dream in New Orleans and fall in love in Chicago. And land in the motherland. Take a trip to Rome, Brazil, for real. Wherever they go, he go.
Well, not where Mina go.
Right. Her ass stay in France.
So now Mina is feeling like she made a mistake and she doesn't even know this man. Then, she told her that she believes that Jade is the one that got away for him. And said, when they were talking in the beginning, he was still trying to get back with Jade. And she said that she's very confused because she thought that they had a unique relationship, and now she's finding out that she's just a replacement. So homegirl suggested, why don't you, take Jade's number and hit her up so y'all can meet up. So she's like, absolutely. She put the number in her phone. She went to go try on some clothes. She was like, I'm gonna run up this check and maybe stop by Mercedes also. I would have made him stop by Mercedes. So when they got back in the car, she was giving very much leave me the hell alone energy. Okay. But then you know what she said? I talked to Diana and I was very surprised to find out that you lied about living with Jade. And he said that he told her that he lived in the house with her in Florida, but she just does, she said she don't remember that.
Give Mark and Mark and Mina a little bit of grace because Mark is older, so maybe he told her and forgot. I'm just playing.
What do you mean? Told her
that maybe he did tell her, but he's older, so maybe the memory.
No. She's saying she don't remember that.
Oh.
Because if I'm telling,
maybe he's old. What he thought he told you. Know how you think you sometimes I'd be like, I thought I text you back, but I ain't actually send it. It's still in my drafts. I think it was kind of.
I don't think it's
maybe Mark smoked.
I don't think it's the same.
Maybe Mark smoked weed.
No. It's not the same thing because if your memory is bad, then you can't remember that you told me. But you're sitting here telling me that you told me.
I tried.
Yeah,
I tried.
No, absolutely not. And then she let him know that Diana said that she was just Jade's substitute, and he kind of started laughing, talking about that's not true. He never said that. And he was just like, well, you know what? We're not together. I never asked her to marry you. I asked her to marry me. I asked you. And she was like, well, because she would never accept it. I thought, she said she doesn't know how she's feeling. And he said, well, it is what it is. I don't know what else to say about it. Okay, but right now the conversation's over. I'm done talking about it. So then when they got back in the house, she texted Jade to meet up, and Jade texted her right back and said she was more than willing. The girl got dressed up. It looked like in one of the new outfits that Mark got her.
That's true. It looked good though.
It did. She did. She walked out of there looking good. And Mark
said, "Where you go?"
Mark was like, "Where you going all dressed up?" She was like, "I'm going to meet Jade." He's like, "I thought that was a joke." But then you know what he said? Okay,
all
well,
you do is give me bad wigs and bad makeup,
and don't get my nails done. And then said, you know what? If she can give you verification that you're looking for, go on ahead. Okay. And she said that if he's lying, then she might have to take her ass right back to Paris.
You know what my first thought is? He absolutely called Jade. Oh, you have to. He absolutely called Jade.
He called Jade? What do you mean?
I absolutely think he reached out to Jade and said, okay, why are you meeting my ex? Please. And once she told, that's what I thought was stupid. I mean, yes, you can't leave the house because you don't know anybody. But I may have lied just to get out of the house. Said I went to see Diane or whatever her name is, Diane or whatever. But him telling her, oh, I'm going to meet Jade, that gives him the leg up. So between the time she has to when she gets to the destination and he has time to pick up his phone.
After 5 years, her number better not still be in your phone.
Well, clearly she was able to get. How was she
from Diana?
Oh, okay.
Remember Diana gave her the number.
Oh, I didn't see. I missed that part.
Yeah,
I didn't realize Diana gave her.
She's like, girl, take this number down.
I literally thought she went in his phone and got it.
She was like, girl, I think you should call Jade and meet up, and gave her the number.
Oh, okay. Look at Nell's keeping me straight. All right. Well, let's move on to Stibby and Muddy. You see, she had one job. You see, y'all.
Am I getting a bonus?
I'm about to dock her.
Am I getting a bonus? Like,
so Stevie takes Marty on a double date with her friends Megan and Adam, and I don't know why. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why, because they're clearly not in the best place. And I'm a big believer myself that if you're not in a good place with your partner, you probably don't need to be going out with other people. It's draining. You bringing people in your ish that don't need to be in it. Y'all need to work some things out first before y'all go pop out and show niggas, okay? So, and this is their first time really meeting him. They were the ones apparently that paid for her to get to Turkey or wherever she met him for the first time. So they go on a date. They're blowing glass, which I thought was very cute. Um, then her friend Megan keeps asking her about details for the wedding, and she notices that Stevie is being very nonchalant about it. And so finally, she said, "Look, I just don't know anything." And so Megan is like, "I think something is really going on." Now we see her husband Adam. He's talking to Marty, and he thinks that, look, whatever you doing, it ain't right. Okay, fix it. You need to make her feel like you are in this for the long haul, because right now it feels a little questionable. She doesn't feel sure. All right. And Megan this whole time is like, oh, so as she's talking to Stevie, and she's like, oh, so it's not him that's not sure now. It's you. It's you. That's why you ain't making no wedding plans, because you ain't excited about it. And that's exactly what it is. So Stevie then decides to let Marty go out with her father. I forgot his name, forgive me. They go off to a monster truck show, which Marty doesn't even know what this is.
And really was not interested at all.
Right. But the reason for him going and spending the one-on-one time was he wants to repropose to Stevie to show that he actually is committed. He's in it for the long haul, and he wants to ask her father's permission, as we do here over, in America. So Marty feels like he's in the most American place possible when he gets to this monster truck show, and he definitely feels like he doesn't fit in. He's confused by the playing of Star Spangled Banner, but he's confused why people are so into this. And I said, your confusion is understood. Let me validate your feelings. So Marty says that he expected more from this monster truck show, and said that, he feels like this is something for people who are like in their 60s. No shade to her daddy.
And real Americans.
And real Americans. So once they leave, Marty thanks him for the invitation and lets her dad know that he doesn't think basically he wants to repropose because he doesn't think she liked the first one. And no, what got me, and I told Nels, because obviously we watched it together, when he told her daddy, I'm fixing, I said, Marty, don't try to play in my face. You ain't even been down there in that country that long that you out here saying fixing.
He picked it up.
Fixing, okay? You got to be in the country for a long time to pick a fixing. I said, not.
He had to talk so the daddy could understand.
Right, and he did. So he asked for the daddy's blessing, and the daddy's like, well, how much time y'all really spent together in person? And so we find out it's all of literally like 3 weeks at this point. And her dad says in confessional, he's concerned about, obviously Marty having doubts and mentioning wanting to go home. He questions Marty about his doubts and about staying there. And Marty tells him that, he did teeter on it at first, or he was homesick, but he tries to reassure them that he's not going back to Iran, and that he's going to take care of his daughter. And so her dad is just likes the fact that he adhered obviously to this culture and was respectful enough to ask for his blessing. And so he just tells him to be good for her, and he's hopeful that Marty's gonna stay. And unfortunately, I gotta go with the daddy. I don't think he is, but all right. Matt, Amani, Amani, how you say it?
Amani.
No, he didn't say Amani this time.
Yeah, because he said it wrong.
He said, I think he said Amani, and then he said Ani. But he said it again, y'all. I caught it.
He said it wrong. He said Amani.
Amini. He said Amini and Ani. That's exactly what he said.
He said it wrong.
You're stupid.
I think she know how to pronounce her own name. So we start off.
Well, her name is Brenda, so maybe she don't.
No, Amani.
Oh.
Her name ain't Brenda.
Oh, I was gonna say you talking about Ani.
No, I wasn't. I was talking about Amani.
Ani's real name is Brenda. Don't do that.
All right. So we start off. We wake up in the morning after the fight. Ani's on the couch, aka Brenda. Okay. Matt is trying to console Amani still after, she blew up the night before. Ani said she slept on the couch because they needed space. Okay. She don't need this in her life. All this explosion and she got all up in her. Okay. Matt and Amani left her in the hotel room to go get some breakfast. So at breakfast, she tells him that he didn't say anything when they were getting into it with the prior night. And she said she feels like he doesn't care about her the way she does. And he's like, it's too much. This is giving too much.
I ain't trying to lose my wife behind my pictures.
He said after last night,
he said, nothing. I don't want to be Cody. I want to be Cody.
He said after last night, nothing was answered, and it makes him feel like he's on the fence. So she said that she feels bad when he saw her, when she saw her cry. And he said last night, those were tears of getting caught, not tears of fear or pain. Okay. And he said that was the other night.
Right, the other night.
He said the only tears of pain he saw was from her. So he said this makes getting involved with her harder because he sees his wife hurting. So that has to not happen in order for them to continue to build. And now she's worried that, she feels like he did love her and now he doesn't. But he said the love that he has for her is not comparable.
I remember the days you used to love me.
So they did at least bring the girl some food. She said that she didn't like all the fighting. It was giving too much. Amani told her, girl, if I was relaxed, I mean, I don't give a damn. All right. Well, she said, girl, you need to learn how to relax or we can't be together. Okay. Amani told her that she doesn't want to be nobody's secret, especially when she's putting her life on the line for her. So the girl tells her, I'll present you as my girlfriend, my wife, whatever you need, just give me some time. And Matt was like, how much time do you need? Okay, because we're literally right around the corner from meeting your family. And, he also said, nobody wants to lie about this situation. And she said that she understands. And he feels like, okay, but we still not getting no timeline or when you gonna say nothing.
Did anybody see ya?
And she went and buttered Ani right on up. Okay, just like hush your mouth. Okay, so she told her that this, the time basically that she's not spending with her kids, it has to be worth it. Like, I'm not here to be your damn secret. And then they decided to make up with a quickie. So I guess if the night before Ani would have just been like, let me give you some, she probably would have just shut the fuck up.
I got the message in my beeper
that you want to do everything I like. All right.
Okay. Now let's move on to Greg and Joan. All right. So Greg the bum and Joan, who is
the boss
and a whole baddie. Okay. She out here.
The boss and the bum.
Thick,
it's like Beauty and the Beast, the boss and the bum.
Greg and Joan, they're working out. She feels like, she getting a little big around, hips and butt. And so she got a
nice little body.
She do. And but she want to make sure she fit in this wedding dress because she said she wanted to be tight and bright.
Mm-hmm. All right. She don't want to be wearing no tent.
Okay. She says where she's from in Uganda, all her friends are very much in shape. And they talk about how they walk through the mountains to get to work. And so then he mentions a gym membership and how it can range from anywhere for like $50 to $250, depending on where they go. And I knew this was going to deter her because she's like, you ain't got the money. So they can
do Planet Fitness.
They could for $10 a month, but he's talking about $20 to $250. So then he wants to talk about their previous conversation that they had and how basically she said she was going to leave his ass if he didn't have a job, if he don't get a job. And she said, no, I meant what I said. I said what I said. I said what I said. And I meant it. So he lets her know, well, look, I got an interview. And she said, well, I hope you don't pick up. And I said, well, John, damn, that wasn't real supportive. Can you be supportive of that big man of yours?
Well, she sees him as an F up now.
So he knows he got to go in there and kill it because otherwise, she said, yeah, I think she said like, what? If he ain't got a job in 2 weeks, she's leaving. She gave him a deadline. I said, woo.
He was like 2 weeks. I probably won't hear anything back for 2 weeks.
I said, I don't want to call it a deadline. What do I want to call it? What's the word that you use in relationships? It's not a deadline.
Ultimatum?
Ultimatum, but Yeah, I guess gave him an ultimatum. Yeah, that's what happened. And so he promises, yeah, I'm gonna get this job, I'm gonna get this job, and he know he ain't got no choice. And my whole thing is he could have been doing side work. You got your mama out here doing Uber. Again, what are you doing? Why are you sitting at home? That's my question. So to me, already,
And that's why she's so tough on him, and I don't blame her.
right. She's like, you spending too much time at home with me, and you need to be out here making some money.
Mm-hmm.
I feel look. Going on to Sean and the lawyer. Alrighty.
All right. So yeah, they're riding in the car. He basically told this girl that she's looking like Alicia Silverstone from Clueless because, and you know what she was? She was kind of giving that vibe. So he mentions that they met this girl named Jackie while they were in Cartagena. And literally the day after they got engaged, she's asking if she's like, well, you know, you're a little bit older. You got an insurance policy? He was like, yeah, that is not what I want to talk about. My demise.
Right.
The day after being after proposing, like,
and being engaged and on a trip. Are you gonna try to kill me?
exactly.
Like, what's going on?
Like, this is a setup. Do y'all really know each other for real?
Right.
And so
Well, I didn't think her and whatchamacallit knew each other.
huh?
I thought they just met her in general, like they were all tours.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
Oh, I was like, they know each other.
No.
Then I would be looking at it.
that's why I said, look, he probably like, do y'all know each other?
Yeah.
So then she drops her off at this flower shop. You know, she's looking for her bouquet to meet up with Jackie, and she's telling Jackie about the house, and you know, it's a castle, but it's old as hell. She says she like her things modern, not your men, clearly. Jackie asked about their sex life, and she said it's working. And I was like, what does that mean? Is it because he's old?
Right.
What are you saying? And she said,
I think she said it was working because.
Oh, she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it's working. She mean like the sex life is working.
Yeah. I don't think she meant that he's working. I think the D is working.
No. Initially, when she said it, that's what I thought she meant was working until she broke it down for her. So she said, sometimes, you know, she feels confident and beautiful. And sometimes, you know, she looks at herself like something's missing and it's boobs. She want to get some boobs. Okay. But she knows this transition is rough on their relationship. And her boo has been super supportive, but she don't know how much more he'll be able to handle. Then Jackie went over to their house for dinner. Aaliyah showed her around, and she actually thinks the house is beautiful, much better than the way Aaliyah explains. So I want to know how Aaliyah's house was looking.
Right.
And
well, no, she wasn't rich. It didn't look like that.
Maybe, I mean, I wouldn't say his house looked like he rich though.
No, but I mean, he had rich things in it.
Yeah, it still look.
It looks still crazy.
Yeah,
still look like an Addams Family house. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Jackie said Aaliyah is in there, you know, trying to be demure and don't want to ask for nothing, don't want to move nothing around. She's like, girl, I would be in there trying all them dresses on, moving all the things, doing what the hell I want to do. So Jackie asked for details about the wedding. He said, you know, dream scenario would be we didn't have to do this K-1 visa. We just live together and not get married.
He doesn't want to marry
because our relationship keeps on changing. But he said that they have to do it this way because they basically tried every other type of visa and it ain't work out. He said that he feels like,
I don't know how, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how Aaliyah didn't walk away after that. He made that very clear.
This isn't the first time he said it.
I know, but I don't know. I guess to tell someone else, and maybe he has been telling other people, but I don't know. For me, in that moment, because I remember looking over at the TV, even though it was yours, and I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "That's your cue, boo. That's your cue."
I think it's different though when because of course you change in a relationship and you grow
right
personality wise, but I think it's different and you kind of have to accept.
No, but what I'm saying is I don't know what the situation was when he originally proposed. I don't know if he originally proposed to Douglas and then you get what I'm saying? She just or he just or she decided to transition.
I think it's the constant change. That's what he said. He was like, he was like, because our relationship keeps on changing. So even if when he proposed to her, she was Aaliyah, you know what I mean? Maybe it was before the wigs. Right. You know what I mean? I think it's just that's why she said she doesn't know how much more he'll be able to accept. So I think it's like he's trying to be supportive. He wants to be supportive, but it's like, I think he thought initially it was like you're Douglas, but every now and then you want to be Aaliyah. And now it's full-time Aaliyah. And now it's full-time Aaliyah. Plus you want to add on these other things and change to look more like a woman.
Gotcha.
So, and I think she's trying to also understand, just like he's trying to understand her. Right. I think she's also trying to understand, like, this isn't who I was when you met me and what you signed up for.
Okay. Valid.
He said that he feels like, when people say that they've been together for years, he's really only been together with Aaliyah for months.
Right.
So you're still getting to learn this person, and she asked, what do the kids think about it, about you getting married? And he said they have no idea. Okay. And he said that he's worried about the backlash if it doesn't work out. And Aaliyah feels like they're on two different pages. She's thinking about their wedding day while he's thinking about divorce.
And that's what it sounds like.
I think.
And she would still be able to keep her citizenship, technically. Mm-hmm. I don't think Sean would go for that, like fight for that. I think he would. Now, the only thing is, if they do, he's still financially responsible for, I believe it's 10 years. Mm-hmm. He would still be financially responsible.
He gives me the vibe that
but I think he would divorce and just be like, I can't do this. And he wouldn't fight her staying.
Yeah, I don't think he would fight her staying. I think he wouldn't have a problem helping her out because he did bring her over here. But at the end of the day, I mean, we can see that he's, Mm-hmm. And I think he still loves her, but this is not who he's attracted to.
That's so crazy because, and look, there might be having an off-camera conversation. It's crazy because that's still technically the same person.
That's why he still loves her, but not even still anymore. Not even because your personality is changing too. You're
becoming someone else.
Yeah. Exactly. So,
I don't know, y'all. Y'all drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think. If you have not already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure that you guys subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
Make sure you're following us on all the platforms. That's the Blue Sky, where I be live skying. That's what we're going to call it, live skying. The Facebook, the IG, and the TikTok, y'all. And please go ahead and run up our TikTok so we can get to a point where we can do lives. I would appreciate that. I would thank you. Thank you in advance. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we will catch you next week. Well, actually very soon because, we late and we know. Okay. Love y'all. Have a good night and have a great weekend. A great Easter weekend, I should say. Happy Resurrection Day to you all and be safe. And we'll catch you later.